Welcome back. Examine text structure using expository essay, right? Expository is when you explain something. We looked at an example of a trailer about our planet and breaking the sound barrier as sort of like a visual essay. We looked at the different parts of expository writing. Some of the structures you'll find in there are allusions. We talked about how he used a little bit from Sir Arthur Eddington as an epigraph to the article, and he used an allusion to get us thinking about flight and the limits of human technology as well. Then we're going to do a little close read and look for some of these other parts that you see here. We're going to look for cause and effect, description and comparisons and contrasts. So we got our work cut out for us. Let's get it. All right. So in my opinion, the greatest achievement of flight was not Wilbur and Orville's airplane, nor Chuck Yeager's breaking of the sound barrier, nor the Apollo 11 lunar landing. For me, it was the launch of Voyager 2. So what we have here is a comparison and contrast. I'm going to use different colors to chat about this. Okay, so he compares. It's not these things, right? Contrasts. These three previously discussed phenomena, right, or events, with, for me, it was the launch of Voyager 2, which ballistically toured the solar system's outer planets. During the flybys, the spacecraft's slingshot trajectories, which were mentioned for the Apollo 11 one, stole a little of Jupiter's and Saturn's orbital energy to enable its rapid exit from the solar system. Upon passing Jupiter in 1979, Voyager's speed exceeded 40,000 miles an hour, sufficient to escape the gravitational attraction of even the sun. Whoa, and the sun is, as I understand it, kind of big. So the Voyager passed the orbit of Pluto in 1993 and has now entered the realm of interstellar space, for which Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think, is a little more famously known than his examination of flight generally. Nobody happens to be on board the craft, but a gold phonograph record attached to its side is etched with earthly sounds, right? This here certainly sounds like, as the last little bit sounded like, description. So let's get the first description first. This is of the slingshot trajectory of the Voyager 2, right? Description. Sufficient to escape the of the sun. That there is not description, but another comparison and contrast to help explain something, right? But we still get all this description earlier. Sorry. All right. Stole a little Jupiter and Saturn's orbital energy to enable its rapid exit from our solar system. All right. Upon passing Jupiter, exceeded 40,000 miles an hour. All that's description, right? Voyager passed the orbit of Pluto and has now entered the realm of interstellar space. Nobody happens to be on board the craft, thank goodness, but a gold phonograph record attached to its side is etched with earthly sounds of, among many things, the human heartbeat. So with our heart, if not our soul, we fly ever farther. And by the way, they want you to do a close read of this ending part, wherein you examine the quick change in language, right? Right? It has a little bit more musicality to it. It's a little more poetic, I think, is how they emotional is how they describe it. Right? Why does it change at this point? Well, we've had a pretty rock solid scientific expository essay. Now we've got a little bit of the charge of emotion and human connection. So, did they describe things? Oh yeah, the description there is in purple. Did they compare and contrast things? Oh, yeah. The comparison and contrast there are in blue and yellow and red, right? Did they talk about cause and effect? Well, that's something we didn't get to yet. Let's take a moment. Well, the cause of its the slingshot trajectory, it uses the trajectory of Saturn and Jupiter. Effect, it exceeds the gravity of the sun. Okay, so we did our little close read of paragraph 16. Now, as always and ever, it is now time to explain the close reading and what was discussed. using an object. This object here, rubber ducky method. Which one are we going to let's do this one. Okay. So we're going to take, just like programmers do, we're going to take the time now to explain to a rubber ducky, or in this case, I'll be choosing my daughter's little uh, cupcake robot. And I'm going to talk to this cupcake robot and explain to it what I just learned. This is called active recall and is the most efficient way to put things into your brain. All right. Be well.